Breaking news, the former Trump organization CFO has been sentenced to 5 months in jail for perjury. Alan Weisselberg pleaded guilty to lying under oath while testifying in the civil fraud trial against former President Donald Trump. With that said, let's bring in senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky at the courthouse in New York, along with ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer for more. Okay, so let's start with you, Aaron. What's the latest from inside the court?
It was a very quick sentencing hearing, 5 months in jail for Alan Weisselberg, who had been loyal to Donald Trump and his family for more than 50 years. And for a second time, that loyalty is costing him his freedom. As you say, he pleaded guilty to committing perjury, 2 counts, 2 felony counts, and he is off to jail now, and he knew it. He was not going to be coming out of this courthouse after he arrived. So he came to court not in a suit and tie, but in joggers and a windbreaker. And as soon as the judge imposed the sentence, Weisselberg declined to make a statement. He was immediately handcuffed and led from the courtroom on his way to Rikers Island.
Yeah, seemingly prepared for what came down today. So, Brian, this is Weisselberg's second stint in Rikers after, of course, he served 3 months last year for evading taxes on perks from the Trump organization. How significant is this?
Significant in the sense that he has another felony record, or at least 2 more felonies on his record, and that he's doing another stint in Rikers. I've represented clients for about 9 years in the city of New York. Rikers is not a great place. It's not somewhere I'd wish for an individual to spend a day in, yet alone potentially 3 months. And the reason why I say 3 months is typically when you get sentenced to 5 months in jail here in New York State, you often do 2/3 of that. So similar to how he was sentenced to 5 months before, he does about 100 days. That's roughly 3 months.
Brian, thank you. And Aaron, meanwhile, former President Trump is scheduled to go on trial on Monday after an appeals court rejected a motion to delay the hush money case against him. Aaron, what can we expect to see there?
We're going to see former President Trump here at court on Monday, even if the appeals court takes up additional appellate attempts by the former president, who's been trying to postpone this trial 10 different ways. Nothing could happen before Monday morning. So jury selection is expected to begin. The judge expects the former president to be here for it, and the lawyers will begin deciding who is going to sit in judgment of the first former American president to ever stand for a criminal trial. Trump has said that this is a witch hunt, it's political, and it shouldn't be happening in the middle of a presidential campaign. But so far, all of his attempts to push this trial beyond the election have been turned aside by the courts. He still has a few potential delay tactics up his sleeve, but at this point, Morgan, they seem like long shots.
Yeah, and with that, we pose the question to Brian. So the court could still decide to delay the trial while it considers whether to relax the gag order against Trump. Brian, what does the court have to consider, and what are you watching for here?
So the court has to consider whether or not the actions or words of Donald Trump might threaten the ability to have an impartial jury, or just threaten the evidence coming out in a way that the judge or the jury may deem inappropriate. Also, for the safety of those people who he has words against. We've seen previous gag orders against him. But in terms of timing, what I'm looking at is I know that the motions are due on Monday when jury selection begins, but the judges in the appellate court, because now it's going to be a full panel, not just the 3 who decided against Donald Trump. The full panel is set to decide on April 29th. That's 2 weeks after the trial starts. I think they would hesitate to delay the trial if a jury isn't paneled, but this could be a long process. I do not envy either side in attempting to find a jury in a case like this because it'll be long and arduous. But if a jury isn't paneled, I think the appellate court will more likely than not delay the case because of how difficult it is to get a jury, especially in a case like this. It might just go forward, even if they do want to hear the case and if they do rule in Donald Trump's favor.
Yeah, all eyes on Monday. We'll see what happens. Aaron Katersky and Brian Buckmeyer, thank you both.